And this is the one everyone says is the good one.
Yes. Yeah. So good.
100%.
Love this one.
And that's what I thought for years. And I loved this one. I thought it was awesome.
So out of the three, what are you picking?
I mean, this is definitely the best of it, but
okay,
But at the end of the day, it's still not good.
Okay, I'm asking you I'm not asking for, I want which one?
It's the best of those three, but it's still not a good movie.
You didn't have to add the last
part. But yeah, like, what is it? What is it about this that everyone thinks is the best? Like, why is this such an improvement over the other two?
I would say it's like the typical, like what you would want from the original trilogy, very soap opera, like bullshit with a lot of spaceship. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I guess I just like that, like, just more action was happening, kind of.
That too.
The music is good. A lot of everything that they were setting up with the other two movies finally comes to a conclusion, so it's like satisfying in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I guess the ending, you've only got two different endings going on, like Yoda versus the Emperor, and then Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
I would say it's the Sith versus the Jedi.
Yes.
In both the fights.
Honestly, I think it's just Ian McDermott's performance.
He saves it.
Because every actor sucks in these movies.
And I even like Hayden, though. But at this point.
I liked Hayden at this one.
But like, and it's not their fault. Like, I've said it so many times, like, they're great actors. They're just in a really bad movie and they're not really given a lot. That's why, like, I'm hoping with the Obi-Wan show, it's like, let's see if Ewan McGregor can actually act in this part.
Ooh, I think Obi-Wan is great in these movies, man.
For the actors, this is the beginning of, like, hey, everything's a green screen now.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of, and by the way, you don't even know what you're looking at.
Right.
Here's a guy, he's wearing green, he's got some lights on his head. That's your bad guy. It's like, how do you react? Like, now we've had like 20 years and actors have kind of adjusted to it and there's ways around it. You can see the pre-visualization and whatnot. But like back then, it's just you just had to guess what was going on and
sit on this green brick, and then we'll turn it into like an iguana thing.
Yeah, and like how do you, like I wouldn't know how to act with that. Like I would need to see everything first.
There was like some behind the scenes of like Natalie Portman rolling around in the Droid Factory filming stuff, and she's like, "Is this a joke?" She's like, "Are you punking me right now? Like this is hilarious." Like she's like, they're joking, but like she's probably like, "Why am I?" Because
there like wasn't a thing like green screen and stuff existed, but like not to that level.
And it was like blue screen. They used a lot for Attack of the Clones. And then green for Revenge of the Sith. Behind the scenes.
I know because there's that famous scene of Anthony. Was it Anthony
Daniels?
Daniels falling into the green screen set
during the killing the younglings part too. Yeah.
And I get it. This one's like dark, and it finally shows the transformation of Darth Vader.
You just reminded me of the one because McGregor was like trying to like not laugh. During the one scene when he's talking to Padme, and he's like he killed younglings, and then he's like trying
that's
to
another thing. The story is so fucking flawed. Like Obi-Wan watches the security footage of the Emperor admitting he's a bad guy.
I can't watch anymore.
Can you make a copy of that and pass it around, you asshole? Why was there even a camera in there? What did the bad guy not want the camera in there?
Wait a minute, you're right. If they could have just distributed, I don't know, like a day earlier when he was like, "I'm going to be more evil tomorrow," and then they could have just got him right there.
It's stupid. The Jedi suck. But why didn't Dooku just go like, he's the bad guy? Instead, he just sits there quietly and waits for his head to get chopped off.
I think he was like in shock that he was even being betrayed.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, what?
I'm sorry. You should expect to be betrayed." Like, it's like, oh, the guy who's playing both sides is going to betray me? Who could have saw this coming? Oh, no.
More like Count Dumbass.
Yeah. What's that meme? If it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Yeah.
So it's got some decent like action scenes, but they're all like CGI. It's like that opening shot that's all in one take. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it was done in the computer. That's pretty easy to do one take. And it's impressive. Like the effects are impressive, but everyone's like, yeah, it was done in one shot. It's like, well, yeah, because they're not using a real camera. They're not dealing with real sets. It's a little easier.
Another prop for the Clone Wars is the fact that Dave Filoni kept Anakin and Grievous apart the entire show.
That was the funniest thing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have the two main characters meet because of one line of dialogue.
That's the respect that people expect, but don't deserve probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Filoni, I don't think you needed to. You probably could have had wiggle room around that.
And then like he hunches more, so maybe he's shorter than he expected. I don't know.
And that's the thing. By 2005, we still didn't figure out CGI cloth. Like Grievous's cape looks so
Grievous
bad.
himself looks really good.
Yeah, I really like
Grievous himself looks good. Then he puts the cape on, and so CGI cloth was so bad. But that's the other thing. So this is the end of Obi-Wan and Anakin's friendship, but it's like, yeah, but I didn't see their friendship.
Yeah, they weren't really friends. Like, even the first one is like, I don't want to train this kid.
They seem like they're bickering like assholes. They don't look like they're friends.
They attempt to fix that because, like, you know, when they face Dooku and Attack of the Clones, they like rush in and then Anakin like goes without him.
Yeah.
And then in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, they're like, oh, together this time, and then they do it together. So.
And then they cut out the entire subplot of the rebellion being formed with Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar
and little kid Han Solo being on Kashyyyk.
They didn't even film that.
They didn't film it, but there was concept art for it.
The other ones they did film. So why is there the rule of 2, like, for the Sith? Because the whole thing is like, he'll bring balance to the Force, and then it's like, oh, that was literal, because now there's only 2 Jedi and 2 Sith, but then you find out that there's like 100 of them
George Lucas described, I think, one time that it was like, there always has to be the master and then the one that like betrays the other one. So like, it's a constant cycle of like betraying one another. So like, that's like supposed to be a thing, I guess. Because like Palpatine overthrew Plagueis, and then, you know, it keeps going like that, I guess.
There's always a master and an apprentice.
Yeah. And like, how did Yoda know that anyway?
Yeah. Well, I've always thought, like, Siths
got something to tell us, Yoda?
Yeah.
I thought it was like Siths come in pairs of 2. I didn't know that it meant there's literally only 2 Sith in the entire galaxy. I'm like, oh.
2 that work together. Because, like, Darth Maul and his brother were, like, a pair for a while.
Right,
Savage.
right.
Yeah.
And then he kills a bunch of little kids.
The Youngling Slayer 5000 is what they call the they call the lightsaber.
Wait, why did they go into exile? Yoda's like, I failed. I must go into exile. And then, like, Bail Organa should be like, I don't know, buddy. I think we need you.
Yeah,
like,
I thought he really was going to, like, from Jedi or whatever, I thought that he was just going to get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then he just, like, was hurt and just literally had to, like, go into hiding because he couldn't do anything. Instead, it was just like I fell down. I can't get back up.
Right.
Like, I was always under the impression that, like, yes, they were in hiding because they were being hunted. But, like, I thought, like, because Obi-Wan is ready to help the rebellion at a moment's notice. So I thought they were, like, actively still trying to help. They just couldn't be too public, or else they'd be taken out because they were, like, 2 of the most popular Jedi.
Well, because Obi-Wan had to go wait for Luke to grow up so he could eventually help him do the thing he needs to do. And then Yoda had to go to Dagobah and train with Qui-Gon to how to become a Force ghost.
God damn it, I forgot about that. So they couldn't film the cameo from Liam Neeson because he broke his leg. So just cut the scene out and rewrite it. Instead, it's so bizarre. He literally just goes, by the way, Qui-Gon called me. He's a ghost. I'm going to teach you how to be a ghost. And Obi-Wan's like, that's cool. It's like, that's a big fucking revelation, Yoda. When did this happen? Could we have seen that?
And it's kind of crazy that they like end up diving into that a little bit. Like, the only reason that Qui-Gon can't show up, and we'll see about this in the Obi-Wan show, but the only reason he can't show up is because he didn't finish the training. Yeah. And so like the wills of the Force teach him how to do it, and then you can become a Force ghost. Because like before he was just a voice.
By the way, there's a lot of sloppy editing in this one. A lot of it's just A cam, B cam, shot like a soap opera, which is a common criticism. But then there's weird things. So there's a shot of Anakin next to Palpatine, and instead of just cutting, so like George, like the one reaction Anakin had in the beginning of one take and another he had at the end of one take. Splice them together.
Yo, I remember that.
So instead of just cutting to Palpatine and cutting back, he digitally spliced together. But if you look at Anakin's hair, you see it morph, and it's like, just stop! You're getting carried away. Just use a goddamn camera cut, you asshole. Like. Or just pick one. Sometimes you gotta pick one take. If you want to splice together, cut to something. But that was like a really fucking bad edit. And I think there's some scenes where like you could tell Sam Jackson's talking and there's just nothing coming out of his mouth. It's bizarre.
And they also didn't really choreograph that fight either.
No.
It was day of. But it's good anyway. I'll watch it again and again.
They're dancing.
Yeah. Yes. And he's like falling backwards off the.
So I literally think people like this because at the end it's supposed to tie it up in a neat bow, but I still have questions.
It's still a little frustrating how it's not perfect, but it does a good enough job. And also, did you know that Steven Spielberg directed parts of the fight at the very end of Revenge of the Sith?
Really?
Yes. He was trying to experiment with some ILM stuff.
Oh, okay.
George let him do some of the stuff, I guess.
Because at the end, it's just like, I feel like Obi and Owen should be older. I don't feel like this is gonna match up.
It's the freaking sons.
Yeah. I don't believe that one.
I'd buy it.
I buy it.
Yeah, it's like Luke and Leia.
You got Force lightning in the face.
And this calls back to frickin' Leia remembering her real mom.
Yeah, it's like she died in childbirth.
Well, I wouldn't call it childbirth. I call it, could you imagine that giant fucking scoop and scooping the baby? Oh, I saw that and I was horrified. I was like, I'm never having children.
Oh my God, what if they got Keira Knightley to hang out and pretend like it was her mom the whole time?
Yeah. James Earl Jones comes back.
No.
Which was memed into oblivion.
Is she safe?
Is she all right?
Padme. And he walks like Frankenstein.
It sounds like he's pooping. He's like,
remember in the trailer he was like this?
Yeah, they moved
the other cut, it's like different. But I feel like he's wearing his Empire Darth Vader suit, not his Episode 4.
Whichever one looked cooler. Apparently they intentionally made his helmet a little bit too big so that it looked like he had to grow into it.
The Wookiees look fucking awful in this. Chewbacca looks horrifying in this. Why is Chewbacca hanging out with Yoda?
I love it. They're like,
damn it, it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Everything's connected.
It doesn't have to be connected.
Everything.
So then Star Wars goes away for a while. And then
the dark times.
And then Disney buys it. And they're like, we're making new movies without George Lucas. And everyone was like, yes, they're going to fix it. They're going to fix it.